Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to Track Walk episode number 101 in MX Simulator, where today I'm going to be playing Next Friday MX, a track that was made by Checkerz way back in 2011, so it's like an OG Checkerz track. But before I get too carried away, let's go ahead and reveal the results. Not the results, the answers. The correct answers to the questionnaire for Track Walk episode 100 on the Race Factory compound that I did last week. I'll give the answers out now, and I'll announce the actual winner of the competition next Track Walk, so the week after this one, yeah. So the questions, in no particular order, the riddles that I gave out were, one of the national tracks was the Track Walk featuring Kellen's favorite number also had a big race won by the team from Down Under. That should be a pretty simple one as long as you know my favorite number is 52. So it's Track Walk 52 on Lommel, the 2012 Lommel track, a track that Australia, the team from Down Under, won the 2012 MX Simulator of Nations on, and it was an event that I competed in for USA. The other national track, the riddle was, this track walk was on a track made by Kellen, a track that has some features that resemble Glen Helen. I've only made 4 tracks, I think, that I've released, and I've only done 3 track walks on those 4 tracks, so I've only done 3 tracks. And the track in that track walk was Track Walk episode 41 on Lofton Bluff Raceway, and it has a lot of hills and ups and downs and stuff like that, and I tried to draw some inspiration from Glen Helen, so that was that one. One of the first Supercross ones was the track that started it all, a track where Kellen always has a ball. I guess a lot of people were kind of confused on that one. The first sentence kind of says it, though. The track that started it all, Track Walk episode 1 on Morona Practice Facility. And I say a track where Kellen always has a ball because I talk about that track a lot when I do Supercross tracks, because it's one of my favorite Supercross tracks in the game and it's a lot of fun to ride. One of the other hints, this track walk in December had nothing to do with riding a sleigh, but it did have a lot to do with an animal that says neigh. Again, kind of easy if you just kind of connect the dots. Neigh, horse. It was Track Walk episode 56 on Horse and Around, which was a Supercross track again. And the final riddle, this track walk was at a place all teens wish a track would be, for if it was there, then all moto teens would be filled with glee. And I mentioned in the track walk last week that it's kind of a little throwback to something that I always felt would be cool when I was in high school, and that is High School SX by Cody Dar. And it's built on like a football field at a high school. So I always thought that would have been super cool to have. And that was Track Walk episode 93, if I didn't already mention that, but yeah. So congrats to all of you that got it right. Again, if you voted, your name has been put into a drawing to win a chance at getting a free Team SYS Racing Yamaha set of gear and bike in MX Simulator, not in real life. And then you can either use that set or your own set or whatever to be featured in an upcoming episode of the World Up MX Simulator, which will be coming back. And so enough on that business. Let's move on to this here, Track Walk episode number 101. And you may have already noticed I am running a 250F in game, and I'm also running the number 101, which any people that have any idea about my history in this game would know that that's the number I ran all through 2013 in my first full year of professional MX Simulator racing in the game. A season where I did fairly decent indoors and outdoors. I finished, I think, 13th in 13th in 250 Supercross East. I got a couple top 10s and a top 5 in the 450 Supercross class, and the races that I did not do the East Coast rounds, obviously. And then I believe I finished 7th overall outdoors with my one and only ever motocross podium coming at High Point. And it was all on this bike right here. It was not with this gear. The gear that I'm wearing was actually our indoor gear. This was the Team Barry Motorsports Fly Racing kind of setup. The bike that I'm on was... No, actually, I apologize. I'm completely off. The bike I'm on was our Supercross bike. And we had a little bit of a different bike. It had almost the same graphics on it, but it was a different model, but it was still a Suzuki. And the gear. This gear was our indoors gear. We had a different set of fly racing gear outdoors, and then actually the helmet that I'm wearing is our showy helmet from the 2012 Supercross Open. So at some point or another, I wore all of this stuff in game to race competitively with, and did pretty well with all this stuff. And it was one of the most awesome times that I was having in the game was to be a part of Team Barry, which was at the time the best team in game. It doesn't exist anymore, but it had Tyson Fresquez, it had Taylor Barry, who was really fast at that time. Daniel Markham won a race that year. He was on the team. It's just a really, really cool group of guys that I know all of them still pretty well. And Team Barry was the team that I was on the longest in my MX Simulator career, and this was kind of like the start of it. I joined the team late 2012, but the first full series I did on it was this bike and this gear set on the 250 East program. And yeah, it's good fun. I'm also trying out, along with this track that you guys have never seen before, Next Friday MX, which was a track that Checkerz created for the 2011 Fall Cup. God damn, 2 corners in a row. Checkerz created for the 2011 Fall Cup, which was like a little fall series, fair series racing 5-round event thing that Race Factory Gaming put on, which I was not around for at that point necessarily, but I did know that it was going on. And then this track was used a lot to race different events, and then this actual map or whatever was transformed into a bunch of different tracks, including Next Saturday MX, Next Sunday MX, Next Friday Night MX. I think Next Monday even came out at one point. I mean, there's a bunch of different iterations of this particular track layout and facility and all that stuff like that. And it's just kind of one of the more iconic fair race series tracks in the game. But I was about to say something and I got off point for it a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm trying out a new snapshot this week, and for those of you that are somewhat new to MX Simulator still, or have never tried this before because you just bought the game and have never updated it, a snapshot is a game update. So I don't know, similar to if you have an Apple iPhone or something like that, or an iPad or whatever, occasionally you'll get iOS updates where it'll be little bug fixes and whatever until a brand new iOS comes out, like iOS 10, or which is what it's on now, iOS 9, whatever. But there will be occasional updates to that where it's iOS 9.21 or something like that. And that's what a snapshot does, is it updates the game to be a new version or whatever, and it fixes a few bugs or whatever. And so the two main things that I know about this snapshot, I didn't read through everything, but one of the big things about it was there's a new bike collision file. So you're allowed to, or able to, drag bar a little easier from what I've been able to tell. It's also a lot easier to slide out and smash your head into the ground because there's less bar collisions to keep your head from hitting the ground. So as soon as you actually slide out, your head will hit the ground and you'll fall off the bike, which kind of sucks because, I mean, I personally didn't think we needed the new bar collisions anyway because people are already too fast in corners in this game. So this just makes it so that the aliens are even faster now because they can make setups that are highly unrealistic and rail corners really fast. But I guess it's changed, it's upgrading. People have been asking for different collision shapes on the bars for a long time now, so finally to have that, I guess it's good for them. And the other big change that comes in this one that I had a hand in contributing to was I posted in the suggestion box not more than a week and a half ago, I would say, asking for the gate drops to be slowed down, because I did a little kind of video showing it off, not on this channel but on my own personal channel, where the gate was falling at a rate that was 4.148 times faster than real time in MX Simulator. And I hated it because for YouTube videos and stuff, when you want to do slow motion gate drop shots, it made us all look like we were reacting really slow to the gate, when in reality we weren't. We were doing it almost identical to the way that pro motocross riders, etc. and stuff can react to the gate. but it was just falling so fast that it would be sitting there stagnant, not doing anything, and then we would react and go. So the gate now, I don't know how much slower it falls now, but it does fall a little bit slower, and yeah. So those are the two big updates. I know that there's a few other things in there. Well, actually not a few other things. There's a lot of other things. It's one of the bigger updates that I've seen JLV do for a snapshot. And we showed you guys on one of our tutorial videos how to put snapshots into the game. So before you come into the comment section right now, what you're probably doing, you're going down the comment section going, wait, how do I install these snapshots you're speaking about? I've never heard of this. This is malarkey, yada yada yada. Please go to our YouTube channel, and there is an MX Simulator tutorial that we have done to explain how to install snapshots. So I swear all the time that more often than not, and I understand some people don't have the time to like look through every video that we've ever posted, but there are so many times that people ask questions about simple things in this game that we've already done videos on and talked about repeatedly and stuff like that. And it's like as simple as like if you just searched, you'd be able to figure out the answer instead of asking us. And granted, it's fine when we get 4, 5, 6 even people asking the same question, we'll respond to it. But sometimes it's like, okay, well, we've already answered that question 150 times, so if you want to figure that out on your own, that'd be great. Anyway, this track though, I freaking love this track. It's a little slick because back in the early racing competitive days of MX Simulator, the tracks were a lot slicker and it was a lot more reliant on actual skill sets instead of just holding it wide open and the corners all having 1,000 miles an hour of grip. So you actually had to try to ride really smooth and really efficiently and stuff like that in the game, but nowadays everybody complains if the traction's this slick, so it kind of sucks. But I liked it because it made the game a lot more challenging, and I think I learned a lot more from these days of playing when the tracks were all slick and slippery and whatnot. And I thought it made the racing a little bit better too. Not to say that like the Supercross tracks these days, I think that they are fine the way they are to have as much grip as they do. Maybe a little less so in the corners because some people are just breaking the boundaries of physics in the corners with this game nowadays. But I don't really mind it. But outdoors, like, we have way too much traction outdoors in my opinion. We're just flying through sections, Mach 10, and people are not even letting off the gas, going through corners. I think it's kind of ridiculous. It's like, we don't need that. We just need a realistic simulation game to be racing on, and it kind of sucks because all the track creators have been forced into this kind of little corner of not tempting and changing tractions anymore because so many people bitch and complain, which is why, in my opinion, I think that the newer generation of sim players is annoying and kind of sucks because when this track came out, it wasn't like, oh my god, this traction's terrible, or you need to fix this jump or that jump or whatever. It was like, thank you, Chris, for putting in the time and the effort and releasing for free this awesome track. You're the best person ever. Nowadays, if a national track's released and it doesn't have the right traction, or if there's too many big bumps or something like that, instead of the pros, etc., and everybody just learning how to attack those sections of the track, they all complain because that's the way it goes these days. And never will be able to figure that out, but oh well. But this track, I mean, it's so legendary. I think it was raced multiple times for different Fair Series races and stuff like that. But I just know that its first iteration was in 2011. And Race Factory Gaming, back when Sween was president, he actually did a video about the 2011, I think it was a limited decal Fair Series then or something like that. Could be wrong. But this track was also featured in that video, so if you just want to go back and search through some MX Simulator history stuff, there you have it. I could also talk a little bit about the fact that this bike that I'm riding, any person that plays sim these days and is not constantly downloading new skins for bikes and stuff like that knows that 95% of the pro pits, or if that's what you want to call it, rides the exact same bike, particularly in the 250 class. Like, it's everybody on a KTM 250, the 2016 model, or basically you're just losing power and time on everybody else. Well, back in the day, people didn't really care that much about performance, and so you would just put the dyno of the bike on the actual bike on the dyno that the bike was. So, for example, I'm riding a 2013 Suzuki dyno, and every single fucking person in 2013 was riding the 09 YZ250F because they had discovered at the end of 2012 that it was better or something. I don't know how they came to that conclusion, but they did. And so I was, and I believe I still am, the only 250F RMZ to podium outdoors since 2013, because this is actually a 2013 RMZ 250 dyno on a 2013 RMZ 250 bike model, whereas every single other person was either on a KTM, the newer ones in game, or the 09 Yamaha, which was used forever until the 2016 dynos came out, and now everybody's on the 16 KTM. So just a little fun fact that I always thought was interesting is that technically I'm the last Suzuki to podium in outdoors in the 250 class. There was like 1,000 Suzukis in the 450 class because everybody used to run the RMZ 2013 or 2011 until the 16 bikes came out. Now everyone's either on the 16 KTM or the 16 Yamaha in the 450 class. Not that I really care. I think the dyno thing is, kind of just a part of the game now, where everybody puts the bike that they're on, whether it's a Husqvarna or a Kawasaki or whatever, they'll put it on the KTM dyno. So that's just the way it goes these days. But back then I was one of the few people to still be on the bike dyno that the bike was actually on, or whatever you want to call it. Which is I kind of think, an interesting fact, but whatevs. I'm going to do one more lap, and I'm going to try to switch up some of my lines a little bit. I've been trying to nail that triple into the rhythm section in the back without much success. But I'm going to try it this lap. I keep missing that rut. I used to be really good at that rut, but for some reason I'm just not good at it right now. Take this rut here. Did not get the table though. So you could go outside here. This is way slower though. This is even slower to go out here. And then this is pretty straightforward. I just like these tracks though. I like the tracks where you can just go out there, flow, connect lines, and tip over. Alright, I'm gonna have another go at it. Get up! But I do miss these Fair Series races. Damn it. One more try. It's harder to do this on a 250F. Nope. On a 450 I could get that probably no problem, but not on a 250F. But I do miss these Fair Series races, the ones that were like super well put together. Tracks that come to mind are like Los Banos that Markham built, or let me think of another one real quick. Another one's not, oh, Hollister Hills I think was another one. I don't know, there's a bunch. But yeah, this has been Track Walk episode number 101. My second favorite number. Why is it my second favorite number, you ask? Well, that's because my favorite rider of all time is Ben Townley, and he used this number for much of his career until recently. And I used this when I was a little youngin' growing up, racing minis and stuff like that, so yeah, Ben Townley 101. So thanks for watching Track Walk episode number 101 in MX Simulator. Coming up, we'll have 102. We'll have the results for the who gets to be in a video with me and gets the bike and all that stuff next week. And we'll do a little something different next week too. For Kellen here on Starter Systems, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. So long for now.